Alright. Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 389. We're here reviewing the newest episode of the anime, which is episode number 1126, Looming Despair, Admiral Kizaru Depressing Mission. And the newest of the manga, 1146. I'll get to that later. Excuse me. This episode covers Chapter 1192. And oh boy, this episode, despite fact covering roughly 16 pages of the manga, they had to add a lot of stuff here. So, we start out with Luffy versus Kizaru to start the episode off. And he's already in Gear 4, Snake Man, something he didn't do in the manga. Yeah, fighting him for a while, go over the place, and then some blasting you, destroying Vegapunk, the robot Vegapunk run. And of course, basically, Bonnie, Lily gets out of the robot. And of course, basically, Frankie always asks how she is because she's a Vegapunk and he has a lot of respect for her. And, well, actually more respect basically for Stella. He doesn't say Stella in the anime because in the manga he did. In the anime he didn't. So, then he tries to use the Radical Beam on Kizaru, seeing him. And it kind of dissipates a bit. Where Luffy is, it's really in the episode he goes to Gear 5. We'll get back to that. So, and Bonnie wonders what happened to him. And of course, basically, if Frankie contacted Usopp about this, he does not know the fact that Rob, Lucci, and Zoro are fighting each other over another room. So, basically informs that the robot's been destroyed. And then Kizaru shows up in the room. It's like, oh, hi, guys. I'm here to fight you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and also, before all this happened, the episode actually started off with Coma at the Red Line. A recap of basically... We start with a recap of him. Because it's been a while since we last saw him. Roughly 7 months. And we see where he leaves, basically, Kuba Kingdom, flies into Red Line, climbs the wall, gets knocked down, climbs up, basically goes through the soldiers at the Marijois. And he's able to basically go through the fleet armor, no problem. When he get there, don't know. The anime doesn't really explain this at all. And then, of course, he would teleport away. And, of course, the Celestials wondering... he says this, which is pulled from the manga. I ordered a lobster last night, and basically I couldn't get it because someone ordered the food. And like I got injured, and the fleet armor was like, do I have to deal with these buffoons now? It's like basically... You see his reaction in the anime, and it's exactly the manga. It's the last two dragons, and they're nothing more than a big headache of people basically deal with. And he's a fleet admiral. You can't say anything about it, but you can see his reaction like, I'll deal with this, damn it. That's basically his reaction. And by the way, he also uses moves on him, which could be even kept in. And after all the stuff with Kizaru, which then, because of course he had to kill a friend of his, so, and... Then Luffy turns to Gear 5. Yes. This is so funny. He just jumps over the place. And then we see like some commotion going outside. And then the roof opens up. And then here comes a giant hand. It's Luffy. And everyone's like, oh my gosh. Like, he's pumping. I'm seeing it for Nami, for Usopp. By the way, also, Jinbei and Sanji not here because they're off getting... Vegapunk's luggage. And we'll see Vegapunk himself even about to get picked up by Luffy. End of the episode. This is a hilarious ending. And we're ending off here. I'm like, really? Okay. So in this particular episode, like, the obvious question is this. How many more chapters left? Because we just got to 92. Yeah. If you're really curious... Not long now. Oh my gosh, it is not long. It is 10... Let's see. 20, 30, 31, 32. There's about 33 more chapters left. Excuse me, for this whole arc. Yeah, 33 now. So, here is my prediction. That this arc will officially end with episode... Unless, of course, I extend to another episode... we're probably going to end this with episode number 1139. That's probably when they're going to finish this. And this is only the... If you're really curious... Like, this arc is officially going now for... Let's see... 10... 20... 30... Yeah, for 31 episodes. And there's about 33 left to go. If you remember, like, how long the arc was, it was 50, 60, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. This arc was roughly 68 chapters, and we're only at chapter 192. Yeah. Also, the episode ends with the Iron Giant waking up. Yep. But I really love this episode. It was amazing. By the way, Kazu's real name is Barcelino. Yes. Kizaru is just an alias that he goes by. But Barcelino is actually his real name. And by the way, he doesn't look it, but he's actually 58 years old. Oh yeah, definitely. The Fleet Admiral, I think he's in his 40s. Anaku, he is currently 55. So he is just a few years younger than Barcelino. How is Bathamakuma? He is currently at the age of 47. Yeah, and I can't wait for them to cover a lot of Kuma's backstory, because I think, like, prior to this arc, I mean, not much was known about him except the fact he was a friend of... He used to be a Revolutionary Army. And this arc is all about his backstory. Like, I thought it's going to be really cool. So, next news chapter is 1146, Motion in the Stillness. The cover image is Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 31. I'll never forget the debt I owe you. I'll be your follower for life. And this is basically Uchi telling this to Yamato. And her brother, Page One, is there with Tama and the Carpenter. She probably did it as a favor for Yamato for saving her life and, of course, her brothers. And we started out basically with Usopp, Jinbei, Nami, and one of the giants take on the Arrow Girl, who doesn't call herself human, despite that she clearly is. And it's like, we are gods. And, by the way, it is pointed out she's a Holy Knight. You would think it was a Jinbei? Nope. Definitely wasn't Nami or Usopp. It was Brooke. Yes, Brooke pointed out she was basically one of the Holy Knights. We see Lilith here briefly with Kuma, then Kuma with Lilith, and like all cheering around. Of course, you have Nami taking on. Like, are you Celestial Dragon then? This ugly noise. I suspect it's something above that. The Holy Knights. And, yep, she confirms she's a Holy Knight. Now, not surprising Brooke knows that, because he is 90 years old. Of course he would know that, of course, with this arrow stuff. And, of course, you have Nami using the shark tempo on her, but it gets redirected to her by mistake. And, of course, Zeus does not want to basically turn like she did before in the previous arc. There's 2 arcs back. So, yeah. So, then, of course, she gets damaged a little bit. Because Usopp fires something at her. Of course, she grows it. She's regenerating herself. Yeah, it's not her. She regenerates. How she regenerate? Don't know. And then use air ability on Usopp. And then we see the Chiefs, Dory and Bragi, just blasting right through, trying to take them on. And the leader, the leader of the Giants basically is bandaged up. What happened was a fight Chu, and then you have basically him taking on the Jinbei and the Chiefs. Nami gets basically knocked away. Usopp gets kneed in the face. Yes. And if I can tell, that actually hurts. In wrestling, they love doing knees to the jaw. And it's like, this fighting going on. Meanwhile, though, Saint Gerard, who is basically in charge of the mission, not the one who's the elder. So, Principal's knocked out. He, of course, contacts everybody. Saul basically is beaten up by another one of the Holy Knights with a big club. A nearly is murdered right in front of Robin again, which he's not wanting him to die. And mentions the whole thing with Nanzu warriors. He was vicious, violent, power, terrified ones. You serve us as mercenaries, and they're right, King Harold. Then stupid Harold had to go and screwed it up. What I talk about? Don't know. We'll find out next week. Overall, really damn good chapter. Loved it. The only thing I don't like about this chapter is there is basically you just have some of the Straw Hats here, like Luffy is not here, Zoro. I'd say about half the Straw Hats here, but not all of them. But yeah, I'm gonna give the chapter roughly a 9 out of 10. Yep. So yeah, that's a good view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next I have a Comic Corn, and it's on to Kizaru Dark Elf. Yes. Thanks for you. Bye.